the Oven Podcast. Your table is ready. You can follow me.
All right, we're going to get this thing started, right?
You ready?
All right. Well, the glasses are off.
They'll come off and on. Eventually, I'm going to want to see. I look hotter without them. I've turned it to my mother. That's my mother's move. My mother takes the glasses off.
Oh, shit.
My mother hasn't worn contacts since 1979, but if there's a picture, she's like, glasses are over here.
I didn't even know contacts were a thing in 1979.
I don't even know. I think they were, but they're like, honestly, I never liked contacts until about on and off over the last 10 years. Like, I like to perform with my contacts in, but now I'm going through the old man thing of it. I'm not that old. I don't think I'm. How old are you guys?
I'm 31.
Okay, so I just turned 40 about 6 years ago, and and it only just started happening this summer where my eyes are like a.
That's around the age.
Yeah, or whatever it is. I have like dry eyes and a dry vagina. That's my. Yeah, see, I wanted
Mario too.
Yeah.
I'm moist. No, I'm moist.
You're moist? You have
Yeah.
a moist vagina? See, now there you go. And by the way, start a new podcast by starting off with a new joke that you didn't think would work. But yeah, I'm putting eye drops in the middle of the night like an old guy. But I wouldn't fuck me with glasses. So that's about where I'm at.
We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to the glasses.
Are we recording yet?
Oh, we've been recording.
Yeah, no, I think we have no choice but to open up with this.
Yeah. My eyes are as dry as my vagina. That's how I want to say it. I want to Gilbert Gottfried it. My eyes are as dry as my vagina. Let's start the show. Welcome to the oven.
We don't even need
We got to open up like that.
We don't even need Mario.
That's your opening. There's your high energy opening. I'm Tom Kelly with two guys with tattoos, one with a tattoo on the wrong arm.
I'm Franco. This is Mario.
This is the Oven Podcast, where we have a THC-infused meal with every episode. But the oven's preheated tonight, but we're not getting cooked. Because somebody's a lightweight. Somebody doesn't do the cool stuff, he says.
Somebody's straight edge.
Yeah. So
I'm straight edge. We're starting backwards because I'm going to say, compared to where I met you guys, the fact that I'm here is probably career suicide. But I am drawn to you, your friend Mario, most of all, like a moth drawn to a flame. We'll tell the story about how we met later. But yeah, I have never done the THC infused stuff. I have no idea who the hell you guys are. There's one reference from a friend at Good Morning America that brought me here, and honestly, again, the fact that there's this kindness to you and this mystery to you, I said, yeah, sure, whatever random restaurant you have near the Comac Motor Inn, I'll be glad to meet you. And that's how I wound up here. And for those of you who are national who don't know what the Comac Motor Inn is, it's exactly what it sounds like. Is that fair?
Literally.
Without getting a lawsuit? You just, whatever perception you have, creepier. Back to you, and I'm here a mile away from that, and I'm excited to be here as your straight edge friend. And I didn't realize you guys were sacrificing for me. Now I feel kind of bad.
No, we love it. I was so happy. I texted Franco right away as soon as you said like I'm in. I'm like, let's go.
But I feel like now that there's no THC infused food, Franco's getting jittery. Am I wrong? I don't want to look at my I've noticed he seems to have the shakes. Is he having withdrawal?
I always have the shakes. Let me tell you, that shaken, what's that called? That shaken espresso from Starbucks? Oh my God.
That's cocaine, dude. You gotta be careful with that.
I do the edits for the video, so I see his leg bouncing all the time. And I'll joke with him. I text him. I'll be like, "Listen, I'm bringing tape, and we're taping your heel to the ground tonight because all you see is boom, 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 boom."
The drinks are a dead giveaway.
Yeah,
my arms are on the table. The drinks going.
Table.
Oh yeah, and then they gave us the full. We picked, by the way, the least stable table in the room at the Oven Studios in Jackson. What is this? The Jackson Bar?
This is Jackson's restaurant.
What a nice looking place. I didn't know this was here.
Man.
I feel bad. I feel bad for not being here sooner. All those times I went to the Applebee's down the block, no THC infused stuff.
You on there for half off apps?
Half off apps, but you with your jittery thing, and this is where we could talk about whether or not THC is good for me later, but I have had the jittery leg for years, and they used to call me Thumper. There was a girl, Carla, who used to call me Thumper. Thumper, because I would be thumping my leg in the middle of class. Like it was just so hard to sit still in class. All the energy would go out my left leg.
Everyone says like, I'm nervous about something. I'm sitting there like, when I'm not thinking about it, the leg's going. But now that I'm sitting here talking about it,
it could be restless leg syndrome too.
Something like that.
I saw though, it's kind of awesome that people can burn sometimes if they're jittery all day. I think I sent you
Yeah, you did.
1,800 calories in one day just from like being jittery like that.
You know
Right
what
here,
we should
baby.
do?
Right
Time
here, come on.
time my Apple Watch to Franco's right back. Let's see how many steps we get.
It's like, you're doing too much activity right now. Why? It's 8 p.m.
Well, it is. It's like, but I think it is. If you hold in energy, it comes out. If you don't.
Yeah.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
But how long have you known me? I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Like sitting
You've
on
been
the bench,
bouncing
like
his
in between innings, like my leg was just nonstop.
Yeah.
Okay, now do we need to explain to your, not to tell you how to do a show, but do people know who I am and how we met you? Because I feel like that's an important setup for any jokes I'm going to make about the two of you for the rest of this night.
So I was going to introduce you and break out the sign.
And then I just started dominating the show with my, and this is the Oven Podcast.
It's your world. We're just living in it, I guess.
That's the hard part about putting a comedian on your podcast is it's like, especially me, I host my own show, the Tom Kelly Show podcast. Go find it on your favorite app. I'm Tom Kelly Show on Twitter, Instagram. I'm Tom Kelly Show on Match.com, Bumble, Black People Meet, JDate, and Venmo. And for those of you who are too old for Franco and Mario's moms, just write me a letter here at Jackson's. I'll get it. It'll get to me. You can trust me on that. And yeah, do you want to? Should I tell the story?
Yeah, go ahead. You can hold the sign too.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm holding a cardboard sign in my hand. And it says, ask me about my podcast. And I don't know if a clip, I hope the clip precedes the Instagram video you did.
Oh, yeah.
I'll send you my cut. It's much shorter and tighter and funnier. But I'm a successful comedian, people. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't belong here, but I am drawn to these two men like a moth to flame. I work in legitimate television. My career has been stop and go since the pandemic, and it's a stop moment, so I thought I would explore a bit. I was working at a TV show, Good Morning America. You may have heard of it, #1 morning show.
No big deal.
I used to work there before the pandemic. They would have an audience and they would book me 300 days a year, and I'm down to working there 4. I'm a comedian, and I open for their big, whenever they have a big audience, I am there. And I see Mario. Mario, turn to one of your cameras for a second. The man's adorable, isn't he? I mean, I am not gay, but I would think about it. Okay?
We're going to have to give him one more notch on his hat after today.
Yeah.
That head is going to
Yeah, you are
later.
adorable. I mean, I look at Mario and I wish I was gay. That's how hot he is. I look at Franco, glad I'm straight. But here, now I'm performing for Sam Hunt, thousands of people in the crowd, and I ask people to hold up their signs, and Mario holds up this cute little cardboard sign that says, ask me about my podcast.
Before he held that up, he actually looked at me. He was like,
Should I? Now, apparently you know somebody who works there.
Becca Anderson.
Great, let's ruin her career too. And you know Becca Anderson, but I don't know this part at this point. I just see you kind of like John Cusack holding a boombox over his head. You're holding this sign that says, ask me about my podcast. And gosh, there's a kindness to you that makes me want to ask you about your podcast. And I bring you up, and then there's a moment. I don't know if I saw the tattoos, or if I just said, you know what, maybe I should ask first. So I asked, so I'm like...
You referred to me as dreamy, which no one ever...
Oh, come on, you got to be banging girls left and right. If not, you have some form of erectile dysfunction. Or you are secretly gay, in which case I retract my comment. You don't have a shot with this. Any guy who said, I used to work at, and then doesn't have a follow-up job, you need better credit to get me to switch teams, buddy. That said... We were going somewhere with this. I paused, and you were very cool. And I want to be clear. I wasn't sure, and this is a stereotype a comedian has about when you see guys with tattoos and cardboard signs mostly. You go, is this a troublemaker? Or is this a kind person with something to talk about? And I go, so I ask privately, I turn the microphone away. I'm like, what's your podcast about? And you say, THC... infused meals and cocaine and hookers. Okay, you didn't say the last two parts, but you said the THC stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Probably shouldn't say this at 7 in the morning. But then again, and this has been going through my head for a while, you are represented. You got tickets from a big shot at Good Morning America.
She's a big deal.
Okay, but we won't say her name again just in case she gets fired. Whereas me, I'm just between bookings. We don't want to get her fired. But you got brought in by a big deal, and frankly, this stuff is kind of legal now. And kind of like the words you were saying, I grew up a straight edge. I have never smoked in my life. I have never partaken in anything. And so there's like, what the hell do I want to talk about this in public? And then here you are. I looked at how many Instagram followers you have and how interactive your fan base is. And I'm like, crap, I have a show to promote on September 29th. I better get in on this thing. Oh, did I mention September 29th, Governors, Levittown, New York? I know we have a lot of Levittown people. So I guess my question for you is, one, has this cardboard sign in public ever worked for you before?
Oh, yeah.
Where have you brought it?
I went to Jones Beach. I went there a couple nights. Not Jones Beach. No, I went to Cedar Beach.
Yeah, Cedar Beach is a little more appropriate.
Yeah,
and what, you just walked around the beach?
No, it was during volleyball. You know, they have volleyball at nights over there. I just sat in a chair, held the sign, and let people come to me. In fact, people, like you said that was more inviting than me walking around and asking people about it. I just sit there and hold the sign and let them come to me.
Yeah, but I'm going to also say you got what the kids call Riz. You ever heard that? It's short for charisma.
Yes.
There is a Riz to you.
Oh, thank you.
And you're right. And there's like little sad sign. Like you're right. Me holding it, it's kind of like, oh my God, what kid toucher list did he get off of? You hold it, and it's like, oh, what went wrong in his day?
So you know what? I better ask him about his podcast.
Yeah. So the other thing I do when I'm doing warm up for shows is I gravitate to whoever is not having fun.
Right.
I also do that in my relationships. I tend to fall for women who are angry and not into me. Generally, I love women who don't put up with men's BS, which tends to be women who are questioning their sexuality. I tend to fall for taller, athletic women who are questioning their sexuality, and after 3 dates with me, they have their answer. They are, I don't mean that in a creepy way, but I tend to fall for girls who tend to wind up being lesbians at some point in their lives. And that's fine, but I love that vibe of I am not falling for basic bros. I am confident. I am independent. I am not falling for your sexy parts, Tom. And
listen,
that tends to be lesbians. Yeah.
Me and Franco get it. We're tunnel buddies on a lesbian now, so.
Sure are.
You know, we had that effect.
Okay, now, and watch me be old guy who... What is a tunnel buddy? Please explain it to me. And maybe
Eskimo brothers.
Write it down
So
for me first.
you've been in the same place?
Yeah.
Got it, but not at the same time.
Not at the same time.
No.
Because
he'd be looking at me in the eye and shit.
And by the way, tunnel buddies seems to be better than just for, again, keeping you from getting canceled when this goes mainstream. The Eskimos are the Alaska Native Americans, big on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what else are you doing in the dark?
I'm not even asking. You know what? I am.
Let's get that appetizer.
Look at Franco eating his potato skins with a fork and a knife, and you called me a straight edge not partaking. Oh, look at this.
Oh, we're just picking it up and eating it? That's
I don't know. How do you, let's go slow. How do you eat?
First, I want to let the audience know exactly what we're having right now for appetizer.
Let them know.
It's a stuffed potato skin with cheddar jack, bacon, and scallions. Just your classic, good old comfort food right here. But yeah, I'm going to be honest. I guess I didn't want to look like a gavone on camera, so I was going to use the fork and knife, but you gave me the pass, so here I am.
Yeah, well, first of all, this is amazing.
How to make some crazy food, man.
You know what this needs, though? Some THC. When are we going to invest in a better sign? How about that?
I think this sign is here to stay, man.
Sign. That is.
I
just hope you don't go to a rainy concert and it didn't totally get.
Well, funny you say that. We were supposed to be there the week before, but we decided not to go.
Yeah, for Tim
McGraw.
McGraw.
McGraw was a heartbreaker.
By the way, we almost didn't even make it to Sam Hunt.
Gee, why is that not a surprise for you?
He called me 67 times in my driveway.
Oh, you were asleep?
I went to a concert the night before. I didn't even drink the night before. I went to bed like a little late. My laptop was open downstairs.
Right.
So we were supposed to be up before at 3:30. He was at my house. We didn't leave my house until 4:30 in the morning.
Sat outside for a fucking hour waiting for this kid.
First of all, that's love and friendship.
Yeah, when I
was like, we are getting into Good Morning America, and thank God I was so persistent because we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
67 times?
I'm not kidding.
I called him 67 times.
I have a picture of it too, like 67 times between calls and FaceTimes. But my laptop was open downstairs, so it was just waking the rest of the house up.
And then what happened? Your mommy came downstairs?
No, I'm telling you, I just randomly woke up. I saw my phone. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what time is it? And he was still in the driveway, so I just brushed my teeth, changed, and got the hell out of there.
Yeah, you did not have hangover vibe. I do remember.
I was trying my absolute best.
Okay.
And I feel like we stuck out like sore thumbs at that show for a little while. Like
you would not have had you not been holding a cardboard sign saying, ask me about my podcast.
No, and you gave me the death stare at one point.
Because that was not something to, and this is where there was a certain point where I said, put the signs away or put that sign away, and you were still putting it out. That was not the sign to put on TV.
Oh, no, I understand where you're coming from.
No,
like, you looked at me like I was a student and you were my teacher and like I did something wrong. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
I
you
looked
got
at Franco. I was like,
no, I'm good at the death stare.
Yeah.
That's, get that from my mom, too. Never mind. I was about to make a mom joke, but I can't. Now that my mom knows I'm famous, I'm done. My mother's starting to look at my stuff, and I'm like, I really do not want her.
We were talking about this before, actually, because I feel like you said something about it on one of your shows. Like, when you put out your content, like, are you like nervous that your family's seen it, or you put like a bad name to your family?
So, my mother, I was just talking about this with the guy who owns Jackson's here. My mom was a big shot in education.
Okay.
Is still a college professor. My mom was a big shot in Long Island education, without giving away her exact workplaces. It was my father. My mom was a teacher, and dad is a retired firefighter. And the joke I have about my dad is my dad, for a man who never hit me, there's sure to fear he could hit you at any second.
Yep.
My father, the stand-up joke used to be my dad never hit me, but he used to beat up my friends' fathers. And that's not far from the truth. Not necessarily my friends' fathers, but I've seen my dad rough people up.
Yeah.
That said, my father can do the death stare, like you were saying. That's probably who I really get it from, is I effing mean business, stop stare. And so there's a weird thing of, I had on my podcast, so my podcast, for those of you who are into it, is my podcast is about me owning my midlife crisis and my life transformation is. I hate the word midlife crisis, but if you're in a spot where you're wandering in life, you're figuring out things, maybe you got laid off from a job and bought a Mercedes-Benz. I don't know.
Are you in a midlife crisis?
But it is.
I didn't get laid off and I don't have a Mercedes.
What is it, a Beamer? What was it again?
Yeah,
Beamer?
It's a BMW.
Same thing. You can't afford it. But the point is, God, I'm feeling like a dick today. God, if only I had some THC. But the story goes, I have always been afraid of humiliating my family, or my family not approving. Or you get into what are the whys of why we do anything? And I've really been, my podcast is half comedy and half self-exploration. And I had a woman on the show on one of my podcasts who's big on TikTok. She is a celebrity energy coach. And one of her gimmicks is you can't achieve your inner celebrity energy until you realize why you're afraid of being a celebrity. And Franco, you just asked me a very powerful life question there, which is, you know what, there's moments where I have had good success, where I've done something funny, but it gets back to my very proper straight-edge parents who look at me with disapproval. And there's probably a balance in between, but so I've kind of have spent my life living like a real comedian, which is I am the best kept secret in New York City. You know, I have posted stuff on social media with the understanding my parents won't add me. My relatives are not allowed at my shows. I was so desperate to promote my show at Governor's on September 29th that I let a couple of my nephews come.
Okay. Are they going to love that, though?
They are, but I mean, even their mother who passed away, their mother came to my show once or twice because she was waiting to see if I was making fun of her, and I was. Or even more, actually what was funny was, anyway, what's funny is, what are your whys? And you do want to be so successful, your family and loved ones are proud of you.
Yep.
I've realized right now I am viral on, I call it microviral.
Yeah, I saw
or
that.
locally viral.
Yeah.
I'm locally viral in southeastern Nassau County.
Hey man, that's where it starts, bro.
No,
and then you could just use that, and then
So I'm trying to find the right balance of, like the Long Island, the alleged. I actually don't think he's going to get convicted. The alleged accused Long Island serial killer is from my hometown.
Yeah, the Gilgo Beach guy.
Yes.
And you don't think he's going to get convicted?
Pause. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Yeah, okay. I think he gets. I'm not saying he's innocent. I think he will be what we call OJ guilty,
Oh man.
He will be what we call Bill Cosby guilty.
Okay.
But in an American court of law, I do not think he will be found guilty.
It's like what they say in Law-Abiding Citizen. It's not what you can prove. It's not what you know. It's what you can prove in court.
Well, I believe I'm an absolutist on reasonable doubt, and I think that like if you are accused of a crime at home, wherever you are, you want me on your jury. Because I will. I mean, like.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you.
Like, and listen, you get into the whole status of things like, you talk about the amount of convictions of young African American men that are being overturned. Mm-hmm. If you had Tom Kelly on that jury, I'd be questioning things. Like I give you 90% of the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
Like, and I don't know if I could ever convict anybody. That's how innocent. But anyway, back to that accused, alleged guy who I do not think will be convicted. I'm still gonna make fun of it, dude. Your hometown.
Oh, you got it. And you went to the actual house.
Oh, I mean, if you go down this person's block and you look at the houses and you had to guess which was the accused serial killer house, that's the house you would guess.
Really?
And
you have another creepy house over there too that you guys call like the Devil's House, right?
But that's a different kind of creepy. So I've been going viral doing Instagram. The Satan House is different. The Satan House in Massapequa is a house that kids used to drive by.
Yep.
I don't know how the heck it happened, but somehow in a neighborhood of 2-story homes, someone built a 3-story house that looks like the house from the Munsters.
And it's like pink.
Red.
Red? Is it red?
Blood red.
And not too far from there, you have the Amityville Horror House, right?
Now, whoever owns the horror house, where an actual crime where 7 people were murdered in 1970 something. Never mind the horror movies that were based on it. Like there would be before you turn 21 and before they sold THC-infused potato skins, you would be bored all day, and you would drive past these houses in your town. You'd go bowling, you'd run out of money, and the Sunrise Mall would be closed. I mean, for you guys it might be different. You drive up and down Hempstead Turnpike, cruise the pike, as the kids would say.
Cruise the pike.
Did you ever say cruise the pike?
No, I never said that.
That's a 90s term. Cruise the pike. Or we're going to DPA, driving up and down DPA
Deer Park Avenue.
in our Mercedes Benzes that we can't afford because we're unemployed. And inside jokes, podcast listeners, inside jokes. And I'm rambling a bit, but yeah. Anyway, doing these local jokes, what's kind of funny is I would tell my parents about it. And my parents would say some legit things like, "Be careful, you don't get sued," or "You don't want to get hate mail from the locals." And I did one joke which was getting me. I'm a right-leaning Democrat or a left-leaning Republican, depending on how you want to talk politics.
Oh, I like the way you worded that.
Really
I voted for Biden, but I also voted for the Republican guy on the state level, and I'm not proud of that right now. But whatever it is, I will look at each individual candidate, and right now I'm somewhere in between. But whatever it is, I made a joke about Massapequa that I stole from a friend who is a staunch Trump guy.
I can only imagine where this is going then.
Well, but he is also kind of a liberally, or he can at least make friends and socialize.
Okay.
But the joke was the conservative politics in Massapequa are so icky that I sometimes call my hometown Massabama or Massissippi for Massapequa.
Dude.
Now you're making the face. You're laughing. See, now I thought it was just a joke. And now you're making the face, and a lot of these guys are, "That's my hometown." If you don't like it, why don't you move? Go to Washington with the other liberals. And you could go down the list. F you. One guy said, and then I started antagonizing some of the trolls. And the one thing I'm sure, and what's
sure that helped.
And what's funny about my Instagram Tom Kelly Show and TikTok Tom Kelly Show is if you read the things there are people like borderline threatening my life for being a liberal. I did another video where I found a nice state trooper's body camera in a Dunkin' Donuts bathroom. He was coming out of the bathroom. I went in. I'm like, "Why is this camera pointed at my wiener?" And then I said, "Oh, that's the state trooper's body cam." And I made a little video before giving it back to him because, of course, I'm desperate for fame. And and my little selfie stick thing was, "Isn't it sad we make state troopers wear body cameras?" And what I really meant was, isn't it a modern inconvenience that they have to take it off before whipping out their wieners? That's probably what because I actually believe in body cameras for the, I have one friend whose career was saved because he was wearing a body camera. And anyway, I don't mean to get political, but anyway, I have one set of Instagram feeds saying you're an a-hole, you're a liberal a-hole, and other people saying you're a conservative Nazi. And so you got to be careful making fun of the hometown, but the nice thing that's come out of me making fun of Massapequa is people told mommy and daddy that I'm funny.
We got the braised short rib ravioli with a mushroom bourbon cream and blackened tuna. Look at this presentation, by the way.
Yeah, no, this is nuts.
Wow. Like, I want to make that joke and yell and look in the camera, it needs THC, but this doesn't need a damn thing.
Nothing.
No, Harry.
This is crazy. The different flavors here, the different flavor profiles are nuts, especially with the tuna.
Now, and we're at Jackson's in Comac.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I'm just saying the name on purpose, so your listeners know who the sponsor is. This is not what you look outside and you see this is in a strip mall.
Yeah, it's like
this is fine dining.
Oh, dude.
This is fine. You would not expect.
I'm telling you, man, the first time we ate here, we were like, this is home base.
How do you get people to talk on a podcast while they're eating amazing food like this?
Just like this, you see it?
Yeah, I guess. This is, I'm suddenly all my shtick, I'm disarmed right now. Now's the chance to ask me about my sex life.
Let's jump right into it, because I know you brought up Bumble and Hinge, not even here, but
Mario was waiting for
just at Good Morning America, you brought up Bumble. So I know you're struggling, but tell us about that.
What, good thing you're paying for dinner, buddy boy.
So what, when it comes to Bumble, what's been like your most awkward experience on not just Bumble, but any of these apps?
Mario's only asking this so he feels better about his last one.
Yeah, I'll give you one. I'll give you a story.
No, oh my God. So I'm just trying to find, there's a few awkward thoughts here. One, sometimes I'm a mass right swiper. I'm on Bumble. Bumble's like a TV show for me. It's funny, I'm going through, again, I talk about this stuff on my podcast, more than my social media, about how I'm on a life journey.
Tom Kelly Show.
The Tom Kelly Show podcast. Notice how I'm plugging Jackson's, and I keep forgetting to plug my own podcast. And, oh, by the way, my show is September 29th at Levittown, Governor. But on the Tom Kelly Show podcast, it'll be sometimes, I have a friend who won't listen sometimes because he thinks, Tom, it sounds like you're about to shoot yourself at the end of the episode. I'll get that deep. I'll get that sad. I'll get that real. And then other times it's me telling fart jokes or showing clips of me talking to you, which will be, if it hasn't aired yet, it will.
Honestly, it sounds like me.
Yeah. But, a funny one was, I accidentally matched with a friend of mine's significantly younger daughter.
Oh.
That's a nightmare.
How young?
Oh, no. It was, let's make it a 20-year age difference for the sake of this, but I'm 47.
And she's 26?
Yeah, but again, or I don't know. We'll get into the age of date. For swiping, I just watch it like a TV show. For me as a comedian, it's fascinating to look at Bumble profiles.
Oh, yeah.
I write for morning radio shows, and I've had a friend at iHeartMedia say, Tom, if you ever found a regular significant other, you would not be a good comedy writer anymore because I'll find stupid observations from looking at people's, Instagram and stuff like that.
It's funny you say that. We sat down with a comedian last week, and she said that her family life is going so well right now that she's running out of content because so much of her humor came from her.
Who is the comedian?
Olga Namer.
Hilarious.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I can't tell you how irritated I am you booked her before me. Now,
Hey, we booked you in 5 days, by the way, so.
well,
yeah. That's a little different.
Okay. Can we own this one?
Let's go back that how we're booked through February, but we liked you so much, we're like, we got to get you on now.
Okay, and first of all, I did not understand it. Again, folks, for those of you, whoever's editing this, show the cardboard sign. I'm not reaching for it. I'm not touching it with my dirty hands. But you're a man I found from a cardboard sign. You have 35-star reviews on Apple Podcasts right now. I looked at all your stats. And then you say, well, Tom, we're booked till January 2024. And I'm like, no way you are. What the F, you cheap cardboard box operation? And then I come here and I get why this is art, this whole show. So let me apologize.
That means a lot, though, for real.
Yeah, I am impressed with the operation.
You got no alcohol.
I am impressed with that's just, bad luck is just not toasting. I mean, the fact that you have lackeys in the corner.
No. He called them tech geeks before.
Yeah, well,
if we could turn the camera to them, to our tech geeks, oh my God.
Hang on, wait, where's my phone? I'll do it. Oh. What was the question? Where were we at? The raviolis are fantastic?
Your most awkward or most interesting dating app story.
I got dating. I mean, they're all, the weird thing about, I've gone on some awful dates. I'm a great first date.
What's your ideal first date? You do dinner or you do drinks?
That's big.
So, ready for a big one? I just want to do it. I just want to get this is my thing on dating. I'm done being your texting buddy. If I wanted to text someone, I'm on a group chat with my high school guy friends, and they're much funnier than you're going to.
I don't need a pen pal.
I don't need a pen pal.
That's what I say.
I don't need it. So that's my first thing is I just want to, at this point, if you do not want to meet me within the week, we're going to lose interest. You know what, and to be fair, as a self-promoting comedian, I don't mind if you add me on social media, and then maybe it'll come down the road. At least I get one more fan double tapping my stuff. But dude, I went on one date with, and I remember the bar, I remember the college we went to. I went to a bar called the Dead Rabbit down by the Staten Island Ferry. And it was an expensive place. And somebody had made fun of me for, that I was doing cheap dates as first dates. So I'm like, we're going to pick a nice restaurant. We'll just have the drinks and dinner there.
And this is the bad one.
Oh, this is a nightmare because it's going well. It's going well. And then I know what happened was. This is a woman who went to Sarah Lawrence College, which is the most liberal of liberal schools, okay? And whatever viewpoint I had about a political issue, I agreed with something Whoopi Goldberg said on TV, who is very incredibly good to me, so we're going to be good about her on the show.
Whoopi's the best.
Yeah. And
I'll hold back my comments.
Yeah, thank you. And you're allowed to. No, but Whoopi's been very good to me. And I'm like, whatever it is, I agreed with a person known to be liberal. And whatever this woman said was, she's like, well, at Sarah Lawrence, we believe blank, blank, and blank. And the hard part was the food order was already heavy.
Oh, you're like, fuck.
And it was like, whatever it was.
You were going to leave?
I would have.
I would never do that. And I'm an asshole.
Left. I would have said, you know what? I can tell this is about to go bad. And it was.
Would you have said goodbye, or you would have pulled the bathroom?
Oh, I've never walked out. I've never done a bathroom.
Oh, okay.
But I looked like I did a bathroom leave once. Actually, here's a good dating story. But politically, it was just a disaster of, I'm going to hate the rest of this date, and it's going to cost at least $100 now. Had that sentence come 5 minutes earlier, it would have been only a $50 disaster.
That's what usually, I've heard a lot of people say like their ideal first date is drinks, because drinks you get them whenever you want.
Because then you feel like an idiot when you spend all that money on a first date and then you're like, I never want to see this person again. I haven't gone on a date in a while. I'm going on a date, actually not through an app, which is kind of cool. I'm going on a date Friday to 2 Spring in Oyster Bay, which is one of my favorite spots. But
I know where I'll be Friday night.
This ain't Geek Squad. You coming? If I'm owning this on a podcast amongst men, I enjoy a good first date.
Okay.
I love it. By the way, if I had a head of hair like yours, I'd never wear a hat. Just saying.
Take off your hair. Take off your hair.
Take it off. You both got hair. F both of you. Oh, you're such Long Island bros. F both of you. Listen, this is all Rogaine, Propecia, and Just for Men. And I'm not wearing a hat. The two of you got great. Show it off while you got it, buddy.
I'm rocking the oven hat, baby. New oven hat. Get yourself one.
Well, you know what I got over here? Fins up, baby. Big first week. Tua, 446 yards. No big deal. Tyreek Hill being the best number 10 in Miami. Right, Rob?
Well, he's actually got to custom order his hats because his head's too big.
Oh, dude, I have that problem.
How big's your head?
I had the second biggest head in the drama club in high school.
No way!
What?
It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
And this is
I only got 2 notches left.
No way.
One notch.
One notch left. One notch left.
One notch? No.
Wait, pull it down. Okay. It just fits. It just fits.
No, but I had a. So,
You got a fucking noggin.
Yeah. So
Tom, that makes me so happy.
I'm
man.
glad, dude.
I can never make fun of you again.
Wow.
And now every time anyone makes
So
fun of my hat,
actually,
I'm
geez,
like,
like,
Never met anyone with a bigger.
anytime someone
okay,
talks
I
shit,
love that the Geek Squad is so like.
I don't usually talk.
No, and we need a camera on you for this because the producer angle is important.
No,
We've never met anyone with a head bigger than Frank.
It's
in our
kill-
lives. We've known Frank how long?
20 years at this point.
It's killing me that you're calling it the Geek Squad and Rob has the Walkman headphones on from 1998 over there.
But that's how you trust. But that's reliable.
He took him off the airplane on his way back.
Okay, that is so cool. Listen, analog is reliable.
And it's with my own.
I'll get you new headphones, Rob.
So.
See the marketing sign.
I also, by the way, biggest head ever on the Oven podcast, and also
For real, no.
smallest dick. Smallest dick. That's true.
No, Franco still got you beat there.
Franco, Franco, whip it out. Come on,
Present it.
present arms.
Let me see your dick.
You know what we need? Hey, Geek Squad, just give us your hand for a minute. We need you to measure. You know what it's gonna be like? Do you remember?
And the headset.
Oh my god.
Did you ever do this in high school where they would have you? This is not high school, but elementary school, where you'd use your imagination to see what was in the. You do like it around Halloween.
Yes,
And it'd be cold spaghetti, and you'd think it were brains. I want to do that, but with my pants.
Whose is it?
Whose is it?
Growing up, did you ever pull the Marilyn Manson? Ever try to like see if you could like suck your own cock just from your imagination?
Dude, I was doing that in the bathroom in between takes here. I will one day. I will.
Frank, you definitely tried it.
I'm flexible.
I
but
feel
not
like
nearly
every
that
kid when he hears that Marilyn Manson story.
I didn't even need to hear the story. I thought I was doing it on my. God, now. No, but I think it's a combination of. If you can do that, God bless you, because that's a combination of not just flexibility,
But size. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that is like a mathematical, like that's one of those like when X plus Y intersects, there you go. It's
Wow.
when big dick intersects
With
flexibility.
flexibility.
It equals mass over volume.
That sounds so smart.
Wow.
So what other, what's
You don't
on
look
that-
at my questions, but I actually have a Hinge story, a dating app story.
Wait, hang on. Why do you bring up the sucking your own penis story is what I want to know.
Oh, because you brought up your cock.
Oh, got it. Okay, fair. Okay, I thought that was on the iPad.
No, that was not there. No.
Okay.
He thought I read.
That was predetermined.
Did you see? He did a glance. He's like, "Well, we always ask our guests here on the Oven, what do you think of THC infused food, and can you suck your own penis?"
Well, let me check that one.
Mark.
So, what's your story? What's your dating app story?
So I'm tying in the dating apps and the hair, since we're on the subject of hair too. So I was just telling Franco that we should wax my back.
You just did this like weird hand gesture.
I don't know why I did that, but we should wax my back for a short, because I'm just a hairy fucking Italian. And but I'm on a date, I'm on a Hinge date. It's probably like date 2 or 3, and we're sitting in a coffee shop, and she has her hand in my shirt, twirling my back hair with her finger. And I was like,
that's so emasculating.
She loved it.
May I look for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, check out that sweater.
Okay, that's a lot.
She loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to, hang on, just for comparison, because I haven't looked at another man's back in a while. And there's stuff there, but that's, wow. Okay.
Do you want to see the whole thing? I'll show you the whole thing.
Yeah, show the whole thing.
So hang on, do we need...
Before I wax it. No, I'll show the camera.
Show the camera. I'm getting a side angle.
Look, don't take the whole shirt off, though. We're in a restaurant.
That, yeah, no shirt, no food, no service.
That's it.
What I love is a family of 3 just walk past the glass door over there.
Back up into it. Yeah, right there.
There it is. You like that? It's coming off. We're coming. I spoke with our girl Jamie today. She's gonna wax me. That'll be a short coming soon.
How does she spell her name, Jamie?
Jamie.
Okay.
This big thing.
No, Jayme, you don't want to trust with your back and your skin. Okay, so let's pause for a minute here. That's a lot of hair. And second, I thought I had a lot of hair until this moment. Just like Franco thought he had a big head until I came into the room, I thought I had a hairy back until I saw yours.
I'm so happy.
Well, so what are you gonna change for me?
And try this out on.
No, literally, that made my night. That your head is bigger than his.
Well, hang on. Can I ask you a real question?
Yeah, sure.
Because it's funny. So, like, I dated a girl who was, and I'm being real. So, but I dated a girl who was significantly taller than me. She was 6'5".
I can't do it.
And I loved it. And then there was a certain point where she, I think, felt I was fetishizing her, for lack of a better word.
Were you?
I have a type. There's a thin line, but I just liked it. It was nice. It felt right. It was, and she was also brilliant and smart and a few other things. But anyway, here, bringing it back to you for a minute here. Did you feel fetishized that this woman found your insecurity attractive?
Are you insecure about the back hair?
You should be. And actually, if you're not, you should be.
No, I feel a little bit gross sometimes.
You should.
Like, when you're sweating, then like my chest hair starts to curl up. Like
No.
I like to like shave it and wax it. I've been like. I realize too, like I'm 31 years old. I'm getting my dick sucked whether I got hair on my back or not.
No,
you know what
you're
I mean?
not. No, you're not. Unless is there a regular in your life right now? No, because
no.
you're going to the Oyster Bay thing. No, let me be your big brother for a minute. And in fact, we'll be right back after a trip down to the Alexa Spa in Seaford, New York. Dude, let me be your friend for a minute.
Yeah, what's up?
You're a good-looking man.
Yeah.
You need to not wear hats to show off that great head of hair you have, and wax your back for the love of God.
I want to ask you, how has it been working for Good Morning America? What's your experience been like?
Good Morning America is amazing. It really is. You go when they used to have the thing is they don't use me as much because they don't have an audience every day anymore. Mm-hmm. So I really went from them doing 2 shows a day with them with 2 different audiences down to literally 4 per year. So I miss them. They were like my family. I've worked with them for 17 years, and what's kind of cool is as far as the famous people go, they're the real deal. Michael Strahan is a brother. Strahan actually reached out to me during the pandemic from time to time. Ginger Z has kept an eye on me during the pandemic from time to time. And then there's a couple of other people there who I regard, I hate the word regarding them as family, but they're up there. You know, they're good people. And now you have to realize Good Morning America is the best group of people at the worst hour of the morning. And it's funny, you were just talking about oversleeping. The weird thing from going from working there 5 days a week down to 4 per year is when you're not working there every day, I would wake up having nightmares every hour that I had overslept.
Yep. I get that sometimes.
Do
too,
you?
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have such a, when you're changing your body clock and whatnot, I don't know if I had the stamina the last, like it's funny, I worked at The View for many years and left to go to Good Morning America to make more money because it was more shows per year. And then I sort of realized, wow, these hours are going to kill me. So God bless those people on that show. Yes. And listen, and you're there, it's Good Morning Effing America. In the age of 5 guys from Levittown can do a weed podcast in the corner of a restaurant in Comac. No, but when you think about how easy TV production is right now, that show is still a brand name.
Yeah.
And to be a part of that is very much an honor.
Tell us what we got for dessert here. I just need a bite of this.
May I?
Yeah, go ahead. We got the cookie dough skillet. Is that what that says?
Yeah, we got the cookie
dough skillet with ice cream, whipped cream, and chocolate sauce.
Oh, this is amazing. Have you made like THC sprinkles? Can you do that?
I'm sure you could. It's got to be a little bit of a process though. It's just like sprinkles are so tedious, man. Yeah, exactly. You would have to infuse the confectionate sugar probably with the powder, and then right by obviously before it's made. But
okay.
That was actually not a bad idea though.
I like this better than the brownie.
No, this is insane.
Yo, I like. What is it? A cookie? Cookie dough?
It's a cookie
dough skillet.
Damn.
This is amazing. Then I got a match. I just got a. Actually, I just got a
match on Bumble.
Let them know you're on the oven.
I feel like you're less likely to get us canceled. What do you have on that iPad?
Me? Yeah, no, Mario. That's a cancellation side on that side of the table.
No, actually, off camera. We're going to tell you a story, but as soon as we make it, we're getting canceled because we have.
Dude, yeah, it's so
It's
bad.
a bad story. We got to tell you.
It's like 55% my fault, 45% his fault, but we'll let you know.
So you're doing exactly what I did about the Ask Me About My podcast, all your listeners are going to be like, Mario Franco, what's that story you can't tell on air?
Exactly.
Dude, no, the story is great. No, you'll hear off camera.
Okay.
But no, so I wanted to talk about you brought up working on The View.
Yeah.
Working with Whoopi. I saw a video you said that when you got to introduce who is it, Prince William and Princess Kate of Wales.
Yeah.
Right. And you said that was the high point of your career.
Right.
So then I went on to see. I heard you're a big Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
So one of the episodes they had Leonard Nimoy come on.
Oh God,
So-
you did some deep digging.
So Spock. And dude, I'm telling you, when I was watching that episode, you looked like you were about to cry. So when he stood up and did the greeting, they panned the camera to him, and I was losing my mind. It was like the one time he had nothing to say.
Oh, I want to get into my career at The View. I went in when Rosie O'Donnell was hosting it, which is 2006. You guys were all in third grade at that point. And then Whoopi Goldberg came on the next year. And for me, I grew up watching Star Trek with my mom, and my mom would drive me to Star Trek conventions. So listen, if it was Star Trek was kind of like what I think baseball might have been for you guys or sports for you guys, it was my way of knowing there were other guys like me. I don't know if Levittown was quite like that, but Massapequa was a douchebag town, and I didn't fit in at the time, you know. And then you find the little things you have in common with other people, and Star Trek was like a language. So yeah, Leonard Nimoy, I was very starstruck by Whoopi. She turned out to be very chill, but it took me a while to even want to make eye contact with her. Then then eventually, Leonard Nimoy's going to be on. And there's a few people there. A guy, Bill Getty, who just passed away, knew I was a Star Trek fan. And I was like, well, why don't we introduce Leonard Nimoy to Tom on air?
Oh.
And yeah, and what's funny is it was a moment where I almost cried doing the Live Long and Prosper with him. And then if you watch on Paramount Plus, there's a new remake of Star Trek called Star Trek Strange New Worlds, where they have a character from Star Trek Lower Decks meeting Spock, and he's almost crying as Spock does the Live Long and Prosper. Part of me wonders if that was based on me and that moment there.
Very well could.
Yeah, and I've been meaning to make a TikTok of that.
I'm telling you, man, I was fucking cracking up. When I saw when they panned to your face, I was like, this dude has no idea what to say right now.
Well, and sometimes not saying anything is exactly what to say.
Yep,
And,
exactly.
You know, whereas like with William and Kate, that was an honor. There's a whole story about that. Basically, I worked on the Earthshot Prize, it was called.
Yep.
Which is like the environmental Oscars.
Okay.
And it was the most, and again, it is the royal family. I mean, listen, William is going to be the King of England one day.
Yep.
So the people who produced it were really trying hard to do the best show ever. And then they hired me, a guy whose nickname in college was Long Island White Trash, to be their warm-up comedian. And they put me, New York guy, in Boston to do it.
Dude.
It was just like all these things were supposed to go wrong. So at one point, they were going to have me introduce William and Kate. And then they said, no, we should have the celebrity Daniel Day Kim do it. Something went wrong, and Daniel Day Kim walked off set before the intro came up for it. And all I know is when I was supposed to do it, there were all these like proper wordings. I think it's like Royal Highness, not their Royal-ness. Whatever it is, I knew there was specific wording. And the stage manager's like, go up there and introduce William and Kate. And I'm like, no. Because I'm going to never work again, and this is going to go viral. What am I supposed to say? And the woman just says, trust me, there'll be a teleprompter. And I'm looking, where's the teleprompter? You'll see it when you get there.
You're like, oh, here we go.
And I went out, and then what's funny is a minute earlier, there's a guy you both would love. He's the guy who wrote some of my Massapequa jokes, a guy, Zach. You would love my friend Zach. Zach is a ball-busting camera utility guy.
Okay.
Union guy, beard like this.
So he sucks.
And I was very nervous before the show, and I was wearing all black, and he goes in front of like a group of guys. He goes, hey, Tom, are you wearing black so that way you could dress like the pallbearers of your career after you blow this tonight? And you could just feel my energy. So now all of a sudden, I'm introducing the prince and princess, and Zach is a camera guy standing about 3 feet away from me.
Oh my god.
Waiting for you to fuck it up.
Well, he's a kind guy. He was not. He was rooting for me. He would have made fun of me if I did.
Yeah.
But he was genuinely rooting for me, but had said that awful thing a second ago. And then I just went, I kind of winged it for a second, and then found the teleprompter deep in the distance. Because the teleprompter person was trying to find me.
Yeah.
And end of the story is I nailed the moment. And that's one of those things where you do it right, you get a pat on the back. You F it up, you're a TikTok clip.
Oh, of course.
You know? Yeah. And that's what that was, yeah. What else is now? I love that you have a good checklist. He has just sexual positions on his.
I don't even know what
research
back
this screen that's on my...
One of my favorite things I found when you got in the octagon with Ronda Rousey.
Oh my God! So we talked about how I have crushes on athletic women.
Yeah.
Now, I get asked probably the week before she goes from Ronda Rousey to Ronda Rousey.
This is 2015.
2015.
This is prime time Ronda Rousey right now.
So this is like a week before prime time. Like it's like she's about to go from somebody that UFC fans know to everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So so my friend Jonathan Fallhaber, who's a producer at now Chris Cuomo's TV show, but he's one of the best field producers in showbiz, a guy from Atlantic Beach, just a good Long Island guy. He's like, hey, Tom, you always talk about wanting to be on TV. Do you want to get a fighting demo from Ronda Rousey? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I gave him some punchlines. Like I wore a leotard that had the View logo on it. I had a couple of punchlines written. But after I agreed to it, it then hits the news. Ronda Rousey breaks the neck of a journalist who fought her. It wasn't quite that bad, but it was almost that bad. And I'm like, I can't back out now. Everybody knows they've like invested money in this. There's new bosses at the View that year. And I'm like, I can't back out. And the smartest thing I ever did was, before the taping starts, I get introduced to Ronda Rousey. And at this point, she's so new. I'm not even sure if I'm saying Rousey right. Okay?
I gotcha.
Like she wasn't famous to me. The same way like Mr. Spock may not be famous to you. At this point, Ronda Rousey is not famous to me yet. I just see a gorgeous, athletic woman who I want to marry. Okay? And I just looked her in the eye and I said, hey, listen, just to be clear, I'm not some douchebag who thinks he can beat you. I'm just trying to be funny.
Yeah. Thank God you said that.
And she looked at me, but then she does this. She kind of does like a sizing me up, and then she goes, okay. No, because I think at that point, too, what was happening to her is she's a girl.
Yep.
You know, guys like you, me, whatever, like, hey, I'm going to beat up a girl. Hey, look at me.
Speaking of getting canceled, I would never beat up a girl.
You know what I mean. But yeah, like, hey, I'm going to win against a professional athlete, whatever. You know, the same way, like, you know, like guys who hit on basketball girls, like, I can dunk on you. Like, no, I knew I couldn't. You know, anyway, and dude, I sprained my ankle.
Did you actually?
A little bit. I took a lot of ibuprofen that night. I banged my head a lot, and I had I broke a blood vessel in my eye. All of that not on television.
Dude, she got you in like she was renowned for the armbar back then, and she put you like you don't understand.
Was I in a good move?
You were in the armbar like where she had your arm between her legs, like that's like one of the Ronda Rousey has probably the best armbar in women's UFC history. So when I
You're gonna have to show me that again because I'd love to.
When I saw you in that position, I was like, holy shit.
Like, people break their arms in that position.
I'm like, holy shit, Tom got armbarred by Ronda Rousey.
And to your point, I threw myself, and you know what's funny? ABC had me sign a lot of releases before that, and I didn't read any of them.
Well, then you came out on The View, right? When she came out, and he came out with like a neck brace.
That was big.
That was great. He walked out and she started laughing. No, it was good though, man.
But I was legitimately kind of hurting, and to give her some credit, she was nice. And then what's funny is they intercut some moments. You talk about getting DB'd by the editor. I think I genuinely asked her out for breakfast, and
they said, "What are you doing after this?"
Yeah, I was genuinely. asking
you were
her
genuine. Yeah, was.
Yeah, they. But I'll tell you, if she's around, call me, Rhonda.
So before we get into the oven now, I got a couple of quick questions for you.
Okay.
I'm really interested in this because I saw I saw this going around a bunch in the last couple of weeks. Everyone's comparing Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey. Right. So coming from a comedian's perspective, the top 3 Adam Sandler movies and the top 3 Jim Carrey movies.
Ooh.
Who would you go with? Which would you go with?
Ooh, first of all, that's heavy. I think Jim Carrey, I think, made more money, but I like Adam Sandler better.
Okay. Interesting.
Maybe it's because Jim Carrey made his bones on the West Coast and Adam Sandler made his bones. I don't know either of them.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever even been in a room with either of them. I'm not emotionally invested in either of them.
Well, that's a good thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm objectively, I'm kind of over both of them in some ways, or I'm over their old shtick.
Okay. I feel like Jim Carrey.
Well, Jim Carrey kind of took a step out of it, right?
Well, I think Jim Carrey realized he was doing the same 3 jokes over and over again, and Sandler's. He was, right? You're laughing. Am I wrong? He's like, let me tell you something. How many times? It's the same variation of the same shtick. Now, a brilliant shtick, I would, but F it, I'm over it. I don't know. Whereas, I don't know. So I'll be honest. I think they're both done. Though what I like about Sandler right now is Sandler's evolving.
Yeah.
Sandler, has the number 1 movie on Netflix is his daughter. Is he in it?
His 2 daughters and him and his wife are in it.
But the spotlight's more on the daughters, right?
On the daughters.
Say what?
Supporting, and it's gold.
Yeah, I mean, listen. So right now, if right now the building were on fire,
Okay.
I love to play the game. If the building's burning down, who would you save?
I feel like I kind of want to play this when we're done filming.
Dude, I do that. This is so awful, but I do this with everybody. I rank who I'd pull out of the fire first.
I have a fucking question for him.
Okay.
After.
Good. Put that on your little iPad. Now, but yeah, buildings burning down, I save Sandler first.
Last one for you. I asked this to everybody. One historical figure, dead or alive, that you could sit down to dinner with, ask any questions to that they got to answer. Who would it be?
And not just historical, anybody.
Yeah, anybody.
Lately I've been Jesus, which sounds weird because...
You're our second
Yeah,
Jesus.
second one.
And I mean that both... And that's just what popped into my... I wanted to say Johnny Carson or Letterman, but that's what I always say. But if you talk about Jesus, if he's real, I definitely want to meet him.
Yep.
And even if he's just the greatest showman and teacher ever...
Still want to meet him.
I still want to meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to go to church again lately. I church hop.
Okay.
I was raised Catholic.
Got some beautiful churches in Massapequa.
St. Rose is gorgeous.
Yep.
And if you have chance, donate money there, they could use it. They have a great soup kitchen, and they have a great outreach program, which has helped out people I love.
For sure.
That said, I'm sick of the Catholic message sometimes. It's like, hey, and don't forget about the souls of the aborted babies. All right, as a guy not getting laid, that's not a problem for me. That's not relevant to me. I was going to a Church Hill song, which is apparently there's a documentary about it. That's like a young rock and roll, but they have like VIP seats for Justin Bieber. And it's like the priest has a fog machine. And I kind of have a rule about church, which is if your priest drives a nicer car than you, that's not a priest, that's an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy we're talking about Jesus when we're going to break out this oven now, because I can't wait to see what comes out of this.
Oh my God, I'm going to get crucified by the oven.
A ridiculous.
Now what? Now you know what's funny? So this is now me being the straight edge who doesn't smoke or partake of any things. I thought this was some sort of marijuana machine. Is it?
This is just a mini oven.
Okay.
Works too.
And it's what? It's like a light bulb oven?
No, I guess. Honestly, I never used it. It has like the light up top that gets hot.
Okay, yeah, there you go. This is what they would call an easy bake oven
There
when I
you
was a
go,
kid.
easy bake.
Which
There
is
you go.
another oveny thing.
It's a ridiculously small oven with some ridiculous questions.
So I can pull out and ask a
one
residual.
question and just read it aloud and give us your best answer.
I feel like this is going to be a fortune cookie and it's going to be in bed. If you could be any animal, what would you be? In bed. I'll be honest, man. I love the water. I love the ocean. This is not the funny answer a comedian should give you, but a lot of my pandemic was spent. I mean, remember, I was so busy before the pandemic, and then I stopped. I had nothing to do, and I started going to Jones Beach again and just walking along the beach. And I love my little oceany animals. And I am jealous of my oceany animals that they could go swim and not be bothered by people. So something with gills.
Pick one oceanic mammal.
God, I guess a shark. So I'm doing the one eating people. So I'm the one eating people. You know, a big shark. So my ass is covered. But yeah, I was gonna.
Then you should pick a killer whale because they eat the sharks.
Well, yeah, I feel like a killer whale when I take off my shirt. So.
Who's your animal?
Man, you know I got to go with the peregrine falcon.
Okay, now, dude, I feel like that is the answer of a man who typed up the questions. No.
These are all his questions.
That specific question came from me.
Wait, peregrine? What? Not just a falcon, but
so the peregrine falcon is actually the fastest bird. It flies downhill, down speed at 264 miles per hour, I want to say, and they inhabit in New York City. So they fly from the tall buildings and they fucking smoke pigeons. I'm telling you, look it up. It is one of the coolest birds.
Fascinating. I watched a video on them, and I sent it to you?
Yeah, dude, it was awesome.
I sent it to him, bro. This mother falcon is flying with the prey
it's a squirrel.
in its talons, and a squirrel in its talons, and it's training the babies, and the baby is flying under the mom. The mom drops the squirrel. The baby completely misses the squirrel. The mom, 200 miles an hour, goes down, grabs the squirrel again before it hits the ground.
And does it all over again.
You know what I love? When I drove in here for the show, I'm like, God, I'm behind on my types of sativa and my types of falcons. I knew that coming into this, that this would be a disaster for that. What's yours? Yeah, what's yours, Mario?
So over the past couple of years, like I've really become fascinated with bison. On my board at home.
What kind of board?
It's a whiteboard. I have a whiteboard at home with a couple
Bison?
Bison. So let me explain it. So,
like a bison burger?
A bison burger. It's a couple like quotes that I like, but on there I have like bison mentality. And when you research bison, they don't avoid storms. They travel head on into storms because they know that's the quickest way to get through it.
That's probably why they're almost extinct. They're a protected animal. Am I wrong?
Not the people hunting them that's killing them. You're blame on the storms.
No, well, okay, no, I don't want to, Mario. I don't want to be mean to you because you're so nice and you invited me on your podcast. But aren't those the animals that used to get hit by the trains too?
I don't know.
There's plenty of animals that get hit by trains.
Okay, then I'm going to retract and not be a douche. But this is the most. I thought peregrine falcon was the most original answer ever. But now you went bison, and
he's the one that wrote the question.
Well, because I've kind of I've adopted the bison mentality.
I like that one.
I thought you were going to say the dog.
But dude, that's like a book. Like, I mean, now I'm the one feeling stoned, and I know it's just 2 glasses of red wine. But the bison mentality is an approach. Tell me more about this.
You just
head on into the storm.
That's it. Yeah, no, I was going through a point in my life where I was developing avoidant behavior, and I adopted the bison mentality, and when I noticed myself getting stressed or overwhelmed or getting angry over a situation, instead of like saying that I'm going to get to it, I'm going to address another time, like I'll confront that issue that I'm having.
I love that answer, and I actually don't want to say anything that would sound douchey.
I have so much to fucking
Just say something douchey, please, because if you do it,
I can't.
No, I love that answer.
You know, I actually do too.
No, I actually really do, and I love the sincerity of that answer. Now, peregrine falcon, that just sounds like guy trying too hard.
No, that's just, I have my mind made up.
Can I answer one more? Can I do one more oven question?
Go ahead.
Want to do one more oven question?
Yeah, because why not? Let's really screw with your audio technicians. But I want to see if Actually, that is awesome. Does the size of a girl's hand matter? And after we talked about me liking taller women, sure. And it's funny, there was just at one point where I was dating a girl, who played ball for a college.
Love that.
And there was the morning after where I think she was having the what the F did I do moment.
Oh, God.
But she put my hand against hers, and I have dainty hands. Dainty hands. Big head, small hands.
That's crazy, the ratio of head to hand is crazy.
Mario, I've never thought about this. I have a great head-to-hand ratio. An unnatural head-to-hand ratio.
I hope you get your cock from your head, not your hands.
Yeah, anyway, but there was just You know what, the only thing more emasculating than the story I was sharing with you after your bison moment here's my thing. The bison mentality sucks. I just tried the bison mentality this, and now I'm dying in a hurricane.
The bison mentality.
Do you date girls with big hands?
I never thought about this.
I've never thought. Now, every
This is
time
your
I'm gonna think
question?
about that,
That's why. No, I'm not kidding. I had a girl try to set me up with her friend. Her friend posted a picture of her holding her wine glass on her Instagram story. I was like,
Mario's also the first person that, I'll be like, hey, look at this girl. I'll be like, look at the size of her feet. I'll be like,
You know what it is? And I don't want to, it's funny, I want to be careful. I think if you notice the size of one body part, you start to realize the other body parts aren't attractive enough to you to compensate. Like honestly, like the girl who I went out with who had the huge hands and pointed out I had small ones, she was so pretty, I didn't care about her big hands. I'm going to argue that your person with big hands, her eyes weren't pretty enough to make the hands look small.
no, I never even met her in real life because after she posted that picture, I didn't want to hang out with her.
Even better. I can't. But I just love. Can we do a third oven question? Is it wrong? Am I beating the oven to death? Is that producers? Am I killing the format of this? You should have just led with the damn oven and skipped all the get to know me stuff. Oh my God! Like I just like so again. No, but this is like 9 hours later. But again. I am here. I did not realize. Let me do my thank you now because I'm going to run out of steam again in a minute. But I genuinely, when I'm here out of curiosity, I did not expect you to be so nice, this to be so fun, and I had such a great time. And that original fascination that drew me here like a moth to flame has been reignited with this oven. Like, I want to know, what were you on when you wrote these questions? Like, hold on. Okay, this one I'm gonna do next. But just to make sure, we're gonna run out of fucking questions. Oh my God, dude, I'll give you 20 more, but hold on. These are genius. These are genius. Okay, okay. Like right now, let me interview Mario. Is Mario mic'd up enough? Can I do this? Okay. Next question. Do you pee in pools?
If you tell me that you don't pee in pools, you're a fucking liar.
Well, you ready for this? I do pee in pools, but I try not to. How about that for an honest answer? I have, but I have. Listen, I swim. That's how I stay in this shape.
You float.
are you boing?
Am I allowed to punch him at a certain point? Am I allowed to tackle him? But dude, I swim quite a bit, and I will get out of the pool and go pee at my local community beach club because the bathroom's closed.
That is one of the most chivalrous things I've ever heard of.
Now, the opposite of that is at my gym, it's a long walk. F it. I've done my best. You know.
It's just like.
But what made you think this?
Do you pee? Because
I'll show you the
pee
list.
in pools.
He sent me a list when we first started.
It's literally,
this.
I have pulled over on the side of the road before because I was like, if I don't write this down, I'm going to forget.
Oh, and I'm going to tell you, you had to have pulled over on the road for this one. Have you ever fallen asleep while having sex? Mario, tell me your story.
So, funny story is,
I can't.
I'm a lightweight.
Okay.
And, I was fucking baked. I was like 18 or 19 years old, and I was so fucking high that I was on top, and I fell asleep on top of her.
And this kid chops wood too, so.
I was baked. Yeah, it was just, it felt so homey in there that I just.
Have you ever fallen asleep having
I
sex?
don't think falling asleep while doing it. I've came to while doing it, like so drunk that I.
Oh, and you had the moment of clarity
like,
or the moment of sobriety?
I'm like, what the hell's going on, kind of thing.
What about you?
I have the opposite of that. I once pretended to be asleep to avoid having sex.
Really?
Yes, it was blatant. There was a woman who I went to college with. Her nickname was Slurpee, and
why would you pretend to be asleep?
Yeah,
with a name like that?
I want to.
no, it didn't feel right. Like it was one of those. That's a girl who needed counseling, not romantic encounters. I don't know. I'm a better human being than you guys. Let's admit that.
A better human being than me, at least.
Definitely,
Frank was a good guy.
Frank. Okay, we're getting the light.
No, we're good.
Okay, good. Then one more oven question.
One more oven question.
Is that okay, boys? Yes? No?
You make Mario work tonight.
Oh my God! Yeah. You know what? Again, all over a cardboard sign. That's too easy. Put that back in. Wouldn't want to waste your great material, Mario. Hold on. Oh my God, long. And Okay, burn that. You don't want that. I mean, that's a good one, but no. That one does not belong with. How often do you get new underwear?
That's a
right,
great.
easy.
Was that one of mine?
That was one of yours, yeah.
As needed.
Honestly, this was one of. I had so much fun filming this.
Okay, now let's rank your comedians. Jackie Martling, Tom Kelly.
For real though, man, we want to thank you for coming.
Who would you pull out of the fire? Love
Seriously,
it.
bro.
Dude, this was a treat.
so much fun.
I mean,
thank you so much
could
for
I
coming.
ask for something? I don't have to be the star of the show, but I would love to come back and maybe have you guys on mine.
100%.
Deal?
We would love that.
We would love that.
Dude,
Yeah.
we were actually just talking about, we're thinking about for all the season 1 guests, we're going to try to do a dinner with everyone in the city for Christmas.
Get everyone together, all 28 guys.
Yeah.
28
And listen, and if it's a night that I'm taking off and it's in the city, I might partake in your wackiness.
Wow.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Well, I might. That is a might.
Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Jump on the YouTube. Send it out to everybody. Tell everyone where they can find you. even
Oh,
though you said it
please.
already.
It's 6 hours into the podcast if you haven't hit the button yet. TomKellyShow.com is the gateway to all things Tom Kelly, but I am Tom Kelly Show on Instagram, Tom Kelly Show on TikTok, Tom Kelly Show on Venmo, Tom Kelly Show on Match.com. Are we airing this before September 29th?
We're gonna.
We kind of have
we're
to
gonna make it.
be
We're
a
gonna make it.
dick move if this is October 3rd, September 3rd. I'm sorry, September 29th.
Yeah, no, we will,
September
we will.
12th. Yeah, dick move. Actually, if they really want to fuck with me, this killer people are going to be like, this is the best show ever. Why did you release it on September 30th? That's what's going to happen. But September 29th, Governor's Levittown. It's my big comeback to Long Island. I would love to sell it out without making my mother, father, or any relative show up. So
Let's do
please,
that.
please, please be there.
And come back next time because there's always an open seat for you at the oven.
We want to thank Chef Harry Poole and his team at Jackson's Restaurant in Comac, New York for another amazing infused meal. Make sure you check out our YouTube page, click the subscribe button, and join us next time because there's always an open seat for you at the oven.